Here we go now.
Apologies for being a few minutes late, but as you know, it's always a mad dash on a Monday morning trying to put together this show for you guys, making sure all the tech works, making sure that everyone is able to watch on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and of course here on Facebook. It is a members only live. We always do this at least once a month, members only live chat, I should say. Guys, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Shout out to everyone watching from around the country. Be sure to let me know where you're watching from, and also be sure to let me know how you would rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is the final episode of Potomac that we will be talking about for season 9. If you had to rate it from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Did Andy Cohen actually, for the very first time, live up to the hype he gave to a show? I personally, and this is just my opinion, I don't think it was their worst reunion. I don't think it was their best, though. I thought it was a good reunion. I was entertained. But the way he hyped it up and said that it might rival season 5, I was like, I don't think this rivals Binder Gate. This doesn't rival the Binder. We caught a housewife in a lie. Whoop-de-doo. No, we're going to talk about you, Stacey, heavily in this recap. So keep watching, okay, girl? But today's live recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac is brought to you by our friends over at Factor Meals. So as you know, on a busy day like a Monday, like today's Monday, where I have 2 live recaps, business calls, taxes are due, I don't have time to cook. But I still want quality food because I'm a tourist. So our friends over at Factor Meals create some of the best quality meals, but I also love their add-ons as well. They've got you set up for this as we move into spring. They say, ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. So you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. What I love is that now they have this other study that they've done. Lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals based on randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto. Results will vary depending on diet and exercise. Speaking diet and exercise, we're doing a challenge. Check out the post on our YouTube. We're doing a little exercise challenge together, so this might help you along with your Factor meals. So head on over to the description for more details. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Factor Podcast and use code Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code Factor Podcast at factormeals.com/Factor Podcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. More information on that will be available in the description. Okay. Shout out to Factor for sponsoring today's live recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. All right. Let me take a sip before we begin. Look, I will never, I'm not one to run for exclusives. I'm not one to just try to, put out any story. No shade to anyone else that does it, but shade. But I told you weeks ago the tea about what went down at this reunion from multiple sources that confirmed to me that Mia doesn't finish the reunion. We got that one right, right? And that TJ drops a bomb at the reunion to Eddie that he was being paid by Stacey. The way that Stacey has doubled down about this, even on Watch What Happens Live, I was like, girl, like, I don't know what she should have done. Admit that she's a liar. I don't know. Like, what should she have done? Admit that she's a liar. She even lied to our face. Here's the thing. I met Stacey in DC for the Kempire After Dark live experience. She came to the show and she even came on stage. I'm going to release that footage so you can see more of the lies. She lied to our faces. I said she was the Palo Santo of the season, only to find out we bought that Palo Santo from Temu. Bought that Palo Santo from Temu. And I know what some people are thinking. Why would we believe TJ? He's been horrendous this entire season. But we never looked at TJ and say, oh, he's a liar. We've caught Stacey in multiple lies, from part 1 to part 2, and in part 3, the biggest lie of them all. Some of you have said the reason why Stacey probably had an affinity towards Mia because they both are liars. And that's probably why she stopped following me. It's okay, Stacey. I love how the trash takes out itself. I said it. I said it. Don't you come to my show and try to use my platform so you can spread more lies. Exactly. Lala says she was creeping me out. The fact that she was doubling down the way that she was doubling down, I was like, what is going on? Mary Jane's Baby, you bring up Mary Jane's Baby got a new picture. Cute. Mary Jane Baby, thank you for being a member, says, I hope she had TJ sign an NDA. That might be the reason why she's so sure that TJ is not going to drop some receipts. Because you saw it during the reunion, she didn't want to FaceTime him, and she says the next time she talks with him, she's going to talk with him with her lawyer. But if you haven't paid him, does that make the NDA null and void? I don't know. All right, I'm jumping ahead, but am I really jumping ahead? Not really, because they start with her stuff from the beginning. So we saw how the reunion ended in regards to Mia leaving. Mia, you are so performative. I can't believe I had a little bit of sympathy for you last week. You know, I had a little bit of sympathy for Mia last week because I was like, okay, no parent wants to be attacked for their parenting. But the way that she left that stage crying, and then she seemed like she was okay backstage. She was still like, I'm leaving. And then what did she say? I wrote it down. Look, she said, oh, where is it? Oh, she's like, not my kids. Not my kids. And then she says, I should have never put myself in a position where someone could question my motherhood. Does that mean she's not coming back? Why is Mia back in the blonde hair, the 613? Why is she back? Why is she back in the blonde? It doesn't look good on you, girl. It doesn't. It washes you out. You look great as a brunette. I agree with that. That's one lie Stacey never told. On a whole little, she did a little shout out to our friends over at oh my goodness, Reality Rundown. There we go. They did a special thing with Mia, Jazzy, and Jacqueline in DC. Mia, girl, your opportunity to tell your side was at the reunion. At this point, no one wants to hear it, and apparently people don't want to see you either. So that's why no one's really even talking about what you did last night, telling your side. And I did watch at least the first 30 minutes of you and Gordon on live last weekend. This new press tour that you're on to try to vindicate yourself. Girl, you're a liar. We've caught you in many lies since your first season. And Dr. Wendy's like, I have been vindicated. I told you guys from the beginning. Okay, we also told you from the beginning about Karen. That's what I'm speaking for Giselle. So after Giselle, tears me apart. She leaves the stage. She's like, not my kids, not my kids, not my kids. Okay, I understand. As someone that's not a parent, I've said this before, I wouldn't want anyone questioning how I raise my children. Everyone raises their children differently. However, Mia, you decided to share this on a national platform, knowing how people are going to have their opinions about what you share on this national, international platform. Okay? So she runs off the stage. She says she's leaving. Again, I think that was performative. I think she just did not have any answers for this. She felt cornered, so she decided to leave. And mind you, when she changed her outfit and she's back in her street clothes and she's leaving. All of a sudden, the tears are going harder. I didn't see a tear. The crying, I should say, is going a little bit harder. She's like, and then she's got her makeup person holding her. Yeah, it's going to be all right, girl. Girl, come on. Mia, we're not falling for it at all. I'm promising you, once you got into that truck, makeup artist, confirm for this, me. Confirm this. The minute she got in that truck, those tears dried up and she was fine. She was completely fine. But anyways, I'm okay with Mia being gone. Let that be her exit. If Mia comes back, she probably will only come back because Karen is not there. Karen not being there is going to secure a few people's spots. I don't know if it should, though. Okay. All right. Moving on. Let me see. Okay. So Kay finds out from Andy that the husbands won't be coming out. Kay is like, oh my God, Greg is going to be so upset. He's going to wear me out because he got all dressed up. I guess they decided at the last minute that the husbands, because they all were dressed up, the husbands. There's only 2 husbands that were there. So the husbands were not going to come out at all. Maybe because Karen wasn't there, Ray wasn't there. Fine. So they decide that the husband, so Kiarn is more worried about that. She's like, oh God, he's going to be so upset at me. Well, he shouldn't be that upset with you. He came there to support you, right? If anything, he should be happy. He didn't want to be on the show in general. So why would he care? Why would he care? Anyway. So, when asked by Andy why TJ wasn't there, mind you, Andy's the one who dropped the bomb that TJ and Stacey were not together anymore. She says, I didn't want him here because we're no longer together. Okay, that makes sense, right? She says she didn't want him there because they're no longer together. Wendy decides to drop the bomb. Wendy says that TJ told Eddie that Stacey paid him to be her love interest. Oh, Wendy. Wendy was definitely the bone collector at this reunion. Okay? Look at Stacey's face. Oh, whoa, Stacey. It's gonna be all right. Whoa. It's gonna be all right, Stacey, okay? If I send you this photo, that means I'm about to tell you a lie and double down on it. If I send you this photo, okay, that means I'm about to tell you a lie and I'm going to double down on that lie. Okay. So, back to this. So Wendy says that TJ told Eddie, that's what Eddie texted her, bone collector, that Stacey paid TJ to be on the show. She paid this man to be her love interest on the show. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Stacey says that TJ would never say anything like that. Stacey said TJ would never say anything like that. Okay. I thought it was interesting that she was really genuinely in that moment. He would never say anything like that, which made me wonder, what Did she have him sign an NDA and that's why she's surprised that he would say anything? Okay. And Giselle was asking the questions that I was asking. How much did you pay him? Because he wasn't convincing. He didn't seem like he liked you. How much did she pay him? And Ashley and Giselle were like, I wonder how she paid him. Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. And are you worried that he might come out and release that information? TJ, I'm sure you watch. Hey, TJ, if you want to slip those receipts to me, I would be happy to share them with the world. Okay. Ariana says that her tone changed 5 times because she's lying. Here's the thing. I know there will be some Stacey defenders, which is fine. You have a right to feel the way that you feel. We've caught Stacey in a lot of discrepancies from part 1, not even just part 1, but in part 1 and part 2, and now in part 3. It's the icing on the cake, the cherry on top. When people show you who they are the first time, believe them. Okay? So Wendy says that it was captured on camera. Stacey is just like, I don't believe that he would say anything like that. I wonder what Andy's really thinking. Andy has a good poker face. So I'm wondering because he's probably seen so many housewives come up on this show and lie to his face. I wonder what he was thinking in his mind at that moment. This is lying. It's a May. But Wendy says it was captured on camera. So they're trying to figure out. Andy's talking to the control room. They're like, okay, yes, they have the footage, but they can't share the footage right now. Andy's trying to do a segue. So when they edit it, they could throw the footage in and everyone's ready to get the footage. They're like, no, we don't have the footage yet because that cameraman is actually filming Mia exiting the building. Well, maybe this reunion was good. No, I have to say the reunion was good. But the way that Andy hyped it up, I wouldn't say that it's on par to season 5. Because mind you, I was just telling you, I just rewatched the last few episodes of season 5 a few weeks ago. So it's fresh in my mind how good that season was and how good that reunion was. Okay. Dina says, they all lie. Andy seems like he likes it when they lie. I wonder. I mean, he is a Gemini. Shout out to all the Pisces, because y'all know how to lie too. You can get it. You can get it. You can get it. You can get it. Who's next? Who's next? I'm going to leave the Virgos alone for a moment. Miss Brooklyn. Miss Brooklyn says, reasons I do not believe Stacey. Miss Brooklyn. 1, she blocked Kempire when he came out with the news after kissing up to him in DC. Why not come on and clear up? That would have been a perfect opportunity for her in DC. 2, she still couldn't get the lie straight on Watch What Happens Live after. Okay? Thank you, Miss Brooklyn. Just come on. Melissa, it's okay. Not you, Melissa. Melissa says, not us Pisces catching strays during your season and all. Happy Pisces season. Okay. It's usually the Pisces men, though. It's not the women or the Cancer women. It's the men. But some of you Pisces women, y'all got some things. But not y'all. Not our crew. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so Dr. Wendy says that it's captured on camera. And Stacey is like, I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Okay. That's when we also see Mia telling the producers that she's leaving. She says that she should have never put herself in a position where people could question her motherhood. Agreed. Hopefully you won't return. Then they say, maybe you should FaceTime to Stacey. Maybe you should FaceTime Eddie and clear this up. And she's like, I will not do that. I will not FaceTime Eddie. I mean, us TJ. I will not FaceTime him. They're like, why won't you FaceTime him? He did not say that. I am not going to FaceTime him. Okay. 7 says Pisces are perfect. Okay. We'll go with that lie. Not y'all still lying. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. Come on, y'all. We're kidding. So Stacey refuses to FaceTime TJ to clear her name. So everyone is just like, even Dr. Wendy's like, I love you, but understand, by you not calling, this is not helping us. This is helping you. And she refuses to understand how that is. But for us, the audience watching it, it says to us, oh, you're caught in a lie, girl. You're caught in a lie, and you don't want to be caught even further in a lie because you have no idea what TJ is going to say. And still in this moment during the reunion, she's still trying to say, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. Until we get to watch what happens live, and she sees it for herself, and she brings her other gay best friend. Damn. AJ, I have to say this. I feel like Stacey surrounds herself with people that like to have the limelight. And that's a dangerous thing. People that want to outshine you, you need to be concerned about. That's how we felt about TJ. That's how I feel a little bit about AJ too. Anyway. Okay. So Eddie, bring Eddie out. Everyone in the live chat, just write, bring Eddie out. Bring Eddie out. Come on. Bring Eddie out. Bring Eddie out. Bring Eddie. Andy Cohen is jumping in his seat. Like, bring Eddie out. Bring Eddie. What is going on? What is going on? But bring him out. So Eddie Acefo comes out looking dapper, looking great. I'm loving the how his wife has his back. Okay, so Eddie comes out to tell his side. And I think Eddie was trying to give Stacey some grace until she started to attack him. Did anyone notice how Stacey was trying to attack him? She's like, I don't think that you and Eddie would do anything for clout. And I feel her saying that was insinuating that they would do this for attention and clout. Anyone else? That's how I felt. I felt like her saying, I don't think that you or Eddie would do this for clout. I was like, oh, so you're trying to say we're doing this for clout. Is that what you're insinuating, Stacey? I think that's what she was insinuating. So Eddie says that TJ said that he's never going to be in DC again. So he only came to DC to film. He only came to DC because he was being paid. Even Andy tried to help Stacey. He's like, did you pay for him, like flights and things like that, in order to, to film? And she's like, no, I never paid for anything. It makes me wonder, like, is she just doubling down even though there might be receipts? Or was there a way of paying him in cash? I don't know. Or maybe she didn't pay him because this was an opportunity for him to be on this platform. So Eddie comes out, sits in first chair, because Dr. Wendy never even moved down. Because at this particular point, I don't believe they knew if Mia was coming back or not. I would be like, I'm going to keep her seat warm. Because this looks weird. There's too much distance between me and Andy right here. But Eddie comes out and he gets first seat. He's like, Wendy's like, not Eddie getting first seat. Yes, Eddie got first seat. Mind you, he wasn't going to get any TV time at all because they decided not to use the husbands at the reunion. I'm glad he came out though, so he could show off his suit. Now he can write it off. So TJ said that Stacey paid him to be on the show. And at first he didn't want to say that. At first Eddie was saying she owes him money. And she's like, I don't owe him anything. But the way that Stacey was coming at Eddie, he eventually just says, well, he said that you paid him to be on the show. Eddie says that TJ was tired of being painted as a flamboyant person. I think TJ we didn't see the full conversation. I wish they would have showed us the full conversation because I think it would have been interesting to see what exactly he said. Because remember, I told you, allegedly, again, sources could have gotten things mixed up in regards to the story, but I heard that he says that she missed 2 payments, allegedly. So I don't know what else he could have said. He could have said flamboyant person. You know, the streets have been saying that they think that he is definitely not interested in Stacey. So maybe. So he says that he was tired of being painted in a certain way. Okay. Stacey denies owing any money to TJ. She says that TJ is hurt. She says hurt people hurt people. Okay. And she says that she thinks that he's hurt because they aren't together anymore. So she's painting the picture that he's probably reacting this way because he's hurt that they've broken up. Okay. All right. Fine. So Wendy invites Stacey to FaceTime TJ again, and she refuses. She's like, I don't owe him anything. All right. So Ashley says, it's okay if you felt like you needed to have TJ on the show. You're going to be on the show. And Stacey seems offended. She says, let me be clear. I don't need anyone to get on this platform or any platform. That's what she says to Ashley. And Ashley was like, okay. All right. But then that's what Dr. Wendy warned Stacey. You don't want to call him to clear your name. And she says that the group won't believe anything from Stacey when she has this opportunity to clear it up, and she doesn't. And I have to say, that was really Dr. Wendy being a friend to Stacey because she has experience of being on this show. And she's like, this is your opportunity to clear it up or tell the truth. And the fact that she hasn't, I mean, fans will move on because we've seen housewives lie and lie and lie, and they're still on the show. This is what Mia's umpteenth season, and she's been lying since her age. And of course, Wendy was just like, well, I told y'all about Mia how many seasons ago. So Stacey refuses. She's like, no, there's nothing that I need. I do not want to call him. I don't need to call him. Okay. So the producers bring out the video. Yep, they bring out the video of TJ saying the things, okay? And she sees for herself. Andy Cohen shows her. He goes to sit next to her and shows her Ashley's scared that she's gonna miss out. And Andy plays the clip of what TJ says. He calls the show fake. He calls the people on the show fake. He says that she's paying me to do the show. And she's like, wait, I didn't hear that. And then he played again for that. She's paying me to do the show. Stacey says that she's never paid TJ a dime. And this is where Andy tries to help her. He tries to help her and he says, well, maybe you paid for a flight or something for him to come and film with you. And she's like, no, that never happened. Please pay attention to Stacey's face. Stacey's face, her reaction. Oh, I hated this for her because we've recapped the season and we've loved Stacey, and I'm never going to backtrack and say, oh, we never said that. No, it's here recorded. We've loved Stacey during the season. But again, we're watching an edited show. We don't know these people. They could be giving us a whole front. She gave us a front the entire season. Do I think that there's an inkling of Stacey in there? Probably, but she lied so much, I wouldn't turn my back on her. And the way that she still is doubling down on this, it's like, who are we watching? I told you don't trust somebody that gets in the confessional and stares you straight in the face. You're supposed to be looking at the producers. Don't be looking at me. So they play that for her. Andy tries to help her. Giselle says, are you concerned that, TJ might see this and that's not going to be your best friend and he might be dropping the receipts, the cash apps and things like that. And Stacey says, I don't know, guys. You all have said about red flags with TJ the entire season. And mind you, Andy's like, well, let her speak, because they're feeling like she's trying to flip this on them. And she is trying to flip this on them. And she brings up a valid point. Okay? She brings up a valid point because everyone has said that TJ is not a good guy. Why do we automatically believe TJ? And I think that's what a lot of people are saying today. Why are we automatically being TJ? Because it's more interesting to believe that she would pay him versus him just continuing to be a jerk. I will say that what we've seen of TJ on the show was not great and uncomfortable to watch, and he could be a jerk. However, we haven't said that he's a liar. And there's a difference between being a jerk and a liar. He could be just being a jerk now and a liar, but I believe him because we've caught Stacey in a few lies. And I am going to release the DC footage. The sound quality is not the best, but I'm gonna still release it because you can hear a good majority of what's said. And when I asked her about, remember I kept on DC, DMV that were at the show. Remember, I kept on insinuating that they weren't together, and she never said, no, we're still together. So now we have to go back and watch the footage together and see the body language. I can't believe I had a liar that close to me. Ugh, Lord. Oh, look, oh. Wait a second, I dated a Pisces man. I've had liars next to me. It's funny because it's true. Okay. All right. Guys, also, you guys have been asking about my skincare routine for forever. So another sponsor for today's show are our friends, Buttah. You all have asked, Kempire, drop the skincare routine. Well, now I am. I am so excited about our new partnership with Buttah. I've been following the company for many, many years, and I know a lot of you are probably already familiar with their products. So I've been able to try their products for the last few weeks, and I have to say, I am utterly impressed. I'm not going to go through my nightly routine or my other routines because I have a morning routine, a nightly routine, I have a weekly routine, I have a monthly routine in regards to my skincare. So there is a whole system, but you have to start somewhere. So why not start now? First of all, let me talk about my morning routine. So I gotta wash my face. You have to find the right cleanser, all right? And not all cleansers are made the same. Start with the cleanser, gives me a good lather. Once I'm doing that, another key component to your skincare, don't use the towel that you use to dry your hands or to dry your body on your face. They have these high quality, silky soft towels. You use it once and you throw it out. I love that. It's going to change your skincare routine. Once you're done with that, put on vitamin C. This is a game changer. For those that say, Kempire, your skin is glowing. Game changer, vitamin C. I will also say this, because I've tried so many different skincare products, I can tell quality versus not so quality. Quality so far from everything I've tried. There's also a very key component. And then after you've done your vitamin C, it's time to put on your moisturizer. Cocoa Shea Revitalizing Cream. I love this because I've tried some other companies and I'm not going to name them. Some are too thin or too thick or too scenty. This is perfect. And I do not say that lightly, and I'm not saying that because it's a partnership. I would tell you the truth. If you know me, you know that. Perfect consistency. When I've used this literally today, this woman that I met, she's like, oh my God, you have perfect skin. I can't tell you the amount of times that people tell me that, but but here's the final and key component, sunscreen. Very important, and I love the fact that they sent me the perfect system. Sunscreen, tinted mineral sunscreen, SPF 30. SPF 90 you don't need. I don't know why they sell it, but it is what it is. So we've partnered with Buttah, and I hope that you will get you a little something. For those that have been asking, what is your skincare routine? I just gave you my morning routine. Stay tuned for the nightly routine and other things. More information on our partnership is available at buttahskin.com/Kempire. All of that information will be available in the description. Thanks, Buttah. Welcome back, guys. Shout out to Buttah. Again, more information on Buttah will be available in the description. And for those that have been asking, yes, it's Black owned. Yes. And I wanted to launch this during Black History Month, but it's Women in History Month. They have a Black female president as well. So more information on Buttah will be available in the description. You guys have been asking for the skincare routine. Stay tuned for my nighttime routine and more as we continue our partnership with Buttah. All right, back to our Real Housewives of Potomac recap. And don't forget, guys, we will be live at 4 p.m. Eastern today for our Married to Medicine recap. I will be twerking on a fence during our Married to Medicine recap because I can see so many different sides. So I'm gonna be twerking a lot. Okay, so stay tuned for that. If you want to see me twerk, stay tuned for the Married to Medicine recap. Let me get to some of the comments. Zoe, thank you so much for the super chat. Zoe says, the fact that I didn't care about Mia leaving and got offended because she was holding up the camera that had the footage, hope she doesn't come back. All of what Zoe just said. Right? Who cared that Mia left? I didn't care. I didn't miss her. And yes, Zoe's correct. I think we were all frustrated. Like, Mia, you're holding us up. We want to see what TJ said. Guinevere? Oh, what a name. I've heard that name before, but I haven't met anyone with that name. Guinevere. Thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Guinevere says, we were rooting for you, Stacey. Shout out to our DC fam because everyone was like, we love you, Stacey. You were fantastic. Don't you all feel like the Tyra meme? We were rooting for you. And you failed us. Thank you, Guinevere. Keith Talks, thank you so much for being a member. Keith Talks says, Mia and her bubble lips can leave. But why are some of the Bravo fans more upset at the people exposing the lies instead of the people actually lying? Really? I know some people are mad at me about some of the posts that I post. I don't pay attention. Y'all fighting in a room by yourselves. I mute those conversations, especially on Twitter. Right, Twitter? And what I said about Garcelle, that first video that I posted, I'm standing on that one. Forget the second one. Stay tuned. Shar, thank you so much for the super chat. Shar says, Mia was upstaged by Stacey the fraud. Seriously. Excuse me. Sage, thank you so much for the super chat. Sage says, between Mia and Karen, I can't tell who is more performative and cringy. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, it's hard to say. And you have this many people on here being performative. Miss Rose, thank you so much for the super chat. Miss Rose says, my girl Giselle, sometimes rightfully so, usually gets dragged 80% of these reunions, and she sits there and takes it. Season 5, drag. And word on the street, it was a lot worse than what we saw. And she did not leave. So you're right, Miss Rose. 80% of these reunions she's dragged, and she sits there and she takes it. Mia couldn't handle one reunion of being dragged. Girl, bye. And I don't think she was even being dragged that bad. And thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. Of all the men she could have got her, a Josh like Ashley who would have done it for free. Shaking my damn head. I still want to see Stacey back. I mean, I still want to see Stacey back, but it's going to be interesting because if she gets caught in more lies next season, then I'm just sort of like, girl, bye. Doreen, thank you so much for the super chat. Doreen says, notice how no one went after Mia when she left? I did. I did notice that. Delon, thank you so much for the super chat. Delon says, didn't Giselle pay Pastor Holy? She needs to hush. Pot calling kettle black. She probably doesn't consider it the same because she didn't pay him. But I don't believe that relationship either. I agree. Black girl named Austin, thank you so much for the super chat and for being a member. I believe Stacey owes TJ money for his terrible acting job. Why is she acting like Latasha Scott out here in these streets? Shaking my damn. If you missed our Latasha stuff, for those that loved our Latasha recaps and our Queens of R&B recaps, we did have 2 videos last week that came out that you may have missed because you're not subscribed, your notifications are on, or maybe you were just busy. Go watch them. Yes, I pulled out some of our old tricks for those videos. Okay. Dina, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Dina says, unpopular opinion, I like the way Stacey didn't cower or crumble to Giselle, Wendy, Ashley, and Kay. I love how you put the face emoji next to Kay. Are you feeling the way that I'm feeling about Kay? Kay seems all too happy about like chiming in when it comes to the Stacey and TJ of it all. But she kept on saying, I knew it, I said it, I knew it. So she sensed things. But girl, you got a whole situation over there that you need to be worried about. Never mind this and this fake relationship. You got a real relationship that, girl, you got some red flags that you should be concerned about. Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. Bianca says, Eddie is a good lawyer. Notice his initial wordplay left the room for Stacey to create her own narrative about money, but she goofed calling Eddie a liar. I agree. We saw Eddie in the beginning try to be graceful in regards to what he shared. But the minute that Stacey tried to call them clout chasers without calling them clout chasers and then try to make him seem to be a liar, Eddie was like, he said you paid him. I was like, damn, Eddie. So Bianca, you noticed that too. No the Queen, thank you so much for the super chat. No the Queen says the crazy part is that Stacey, the crazy part is the Stacey we see when the mask slips seems more interesting than the front she tries to put up. That is always the truth. When you're just yourself on these reality shows, people end up loving those people for the most part. And that whole F that B word to Vivian situation, everyone was like, yeah, girl, lean into just being honest. Because I do believe that there's a sort of like preppy, stuck up, weird, quirky girl there. I do believe that is somewhat of who she is. But I also think that some of it is also performative. Thank you so much for the super chat, No to Queen. We had a lot of super chats. Thank you, guys. Don't forget, guys, you can also just like the video. We have almost 3,000 of you watching on YouTube and Facebook. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, here on TikTok. We appreciate you guys as well. Hey, Shantae. Chef Lorraine, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Keith, thank you so much for the super chat. Keith says, Stacey is lying, but Giselle should be the last one trying to throw shade. Is Namsa coming? I believe the relationship with Namsa though, but I think producers have gotten better with finding someone that we actually believe that she would be interested in. You remember there was that whole other guy from what was Summer House, Winter House that we were like, that first of all, that's not his type, and that's not her typical type. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Tish says, I automatically believe TJ because we caught Stacey in multiple lies just during the reunion alone. Right? So I get it. I get why people do not want to believe TJ because we don't know him and he's shown us red flags throughout the season. But in this reunion alone, we're like, Stacey, we've caught you in a lot of lies. Angie, thank you so much for the super chat. Angie says, I laughed so hard when Annie turned to look Stacey when she asked who owed money to TJ. Lord, Stacey, this did not age well for you. Jaceline, thank you so much for the super chat. Jaceline says, Stacey was a better actress than TJ. I mean, and she's still acting, even on Watch What Happens Live. Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. Bianca says, is there someone out here with an agency for these housewives or medicine wives to purchase boyfriends for a season? They almost seem prepackaged. Sidebar, did you guys watch What Happens Live? Where we found out that Cecil's nephew is Walter. Why did we not know that? And they confirmed that Kenya had dated Walter years ago and only brought him on the show in order to film. So they confirmed that. Also, Dr. Simone had called Portia a mean girl. Bianca, thank you so much for the super chat. We had another one from Bianca. Bianca says, Kay should have left with Mia. Jacqueline spoke more. Damn. Oh my goodness. Millie, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Millie says, unpopular opinion, but I found myself believing Stacey. She's such an adamant liar. I second guessed myself. Oh my God. That's how they gaslight you, Millie. You've been gaslit by Stacey. Hey, Rita. Rita, thank you so much for all of my gifts that you brought to the New York show. Rita flew all the way from Germany. She came to our London show, too. Came all the way to New York, was a part of in person, and she brought me these really, really like self-care gifts So thank you, Rita, for all my self-care gifts. I used the spray you gave me from the other gift bag you gave me on my bed right before I go to bed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate gifts that are thoughtful. Shout out to all of you that gave me gifts. Okay. Another one, you gave me some candles and sprays too. I love it. Anyway. HG, thank you so much for the super chat. HG says, I don't know why Ashley was over there cackling. I don't think the relationship with Josh Harlow is real either. I believe that relationship. Do I think that relationship is going to last? No, but I do believe it. Coco Esquire, thank you so much for the super chat. Coco says, new member here, but first of all, Detroit doesn't create preppy black girls like the one Stacey portrays. And I've met some of the most educated. Okay. Well, I am not from Detroit, so I am not going to speak for Detroit in regards to that. But did she grow up in Detroit? That's the thing too. Like, I know she's from Detroit, but did she grow up in Detroit? Then there's that. All right, so let me get back to this. I will be dropping the call link for those that want to call in and share their thoughts on the final episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay. We'll be dropping that for members exclusively today. So shout out to those of you that are members. I will be recapping Married to Medicine a little bit later on today at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. PST. Shout out to those of you watching on TikTok. What's going on TikTok? You guys have a different view today. Don't you like this view a little bit better, TikTok? Look. Congratulations to all the winners at the Oscars yesterday as well, including one of my faves, Zoe Saldana. If you saw From Scratch, she deserved an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Golden Globe for that role. She did a hell of a job. But she won an Oscar. She's the first Dominican woman to win an Oscar, period. I loved her speech, so congratulations to her. Also, I apologize because I can't think of the name, but you guys will remind me in the chat. The black man became the first black man to win an Oscar for costume design. He did the costumes for Wicked. That was like the only award that Wicked won that I know of. So all the major other awards they've been losing at all the award shows. But congratulations to him. And congratulations to Halle Berry. Look amazing on that red carpet. I mean, she's had some misses in the last few years, but she came back strong this season, both for the Oscars red carpet and for the after party. I was like, you look great. Great. Okay. Back to this. So the producers brought that out. Stacey doubled down on, I never paid him. I'm not going to FaceTime him. I'm not going to. She said, the next time I FaceTime with TJ, it will be with my lawyer. Okay. All right. So Karen. So this is where they go through what Karen went through throughout the season. Her DUI, the court case, the conviction. At the time of the reunion, they did not know what her sentencing has been. If you missed our coverage of the sentencing, be sure to check out those videos on our YouTube channel, but you can also hear them on the Kempire podcast. So Jacqueline, as you know, had a tough go with Karen this season. And I get it. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, Brown Sugar. The first black man to win an Oscar for costume design was Paul Tazewell, or Tazewell. Apologies for the pronunciation if it's incorrect. Okay. So Jacqueline addresses the issues that she's had with Karen. Hear me out. I think we need to give justice for Jacqueline here. And I don't care if you disagree. I really don't. I get it. Jacqueline has been weird the majority of the season, especially because she decided to defend Mia at every turn, and it felt weird. It felt performative. The stuff with Ashley, yuck. However, I did feel, especially after what we found out about Karen and how Karen just doubled down on her own delusion and lies, I do think that Karen wanted to double down and come at Jacqueline and have people turn on Jacqueline because she is the mean girl. She is what we call all these other people. No, Karen is the mean girl. Because yes, should Jacqueline have been talking about Karen being drunk or tipsy when she called her? Maybe not. However, it seems that there was a real problem with Karen and her drinking. And the way that she flipped on Jack, but I've been saying this during the season. I get it, you being upset with Jacqueline, but the way that you turned on her versus how all these other people have said and done things to you over the years, you came at Jacqueline like the ultimate mean girl, nasty bully. That's what it was giving. And I get it. Jacqueline came there with 8 balloons and she tried to justify it during the reunion and whatever. But the entire season, Karen made it her business to drag Jacqueline and then bring up those citations or convictions or whatever it may be that PP had. Some of y'all are funny. But I still feel like Karen did that as another way of distracting from the real issue, and the real issue was her situation. So she decided to be a mean girl and nasty and hateful towards Jacqueline. It's one thing to be mad, but it's another thing to drag it out for the entire season. For the entire season. Anyway, moving on. So Jacqueline talks about that. Jacqueline claimed that Mia threw her under the bus, but the group was like, no, you brought it up too. You brought it up to me, to Ashley and Giselle. Giselle says that the reason why Karen did not want to talk, we knew this already. The reason why Karen didn't really want to talk or engage or got upset with Jacqueline was because she was concerned that some of these things that were being said on the show would affect her case. Again, Dr. Wendy Acefo for me was the gold star this season. She was the bone collector. She was the common sense when we needed it. She was there to kind of add what we've been thinking and reporting on when it comes to Karen and her case. And Giselle says, Karen was concerned about this stuff hurting her case. Wendy points out that Karen kept pushing her court date back. She kept on trying to delay the case. But Giselle was like, well, no, she was trying to get certain things thrown out. No, she was trying to delay the case. At the top of the season, we said Karen needs to judge. And this was before we even saw the body cam footage. It was just the information, the police report, that was enough for us. The body cam footage was like, why would you bring this to court? And the fact that she still wants us to believe that everybody, her lawyers, Ray Huger, and her did not see this body cam footage before it went to court. She's like, I didn't want to see the body cam footage. Ray, you didn't need to see the body cam footage. You were there. You saw how inebriated she was and how she was talking, slurring her words. But of course, you can't make her do anything, including not be with blue eyes. So for whatever reason, your life, your relationship, I don't care. I care when it affects people's safety on the streets of Maryland. So Wendy points out that Karen kept pushing her court date back. Giselle says that Karen was trying to get things thrown out, including the body cam footage. She was also trying to get the body cam footage thrown out. Okay, she was also trying to get some of the things that she said when police were questioning her while she was being treated. She was trying to get that thrown out. Okay. And a lot of people say that Karen's legal team is to blame. Again, it could be them. We don't know, and they can't say, well, Karen wanted us to pursue regardless. They can't say it. Attorney-client privilege. They can't say that. But based on what we've seen on the show, what we saw on this last episode, do we really believe the attorneys did not warn Karen that Karen, this might not go in your favor? We've seen the body cam footage. It's not good. We can try and have it thrown out. Now they're saying they're not going to throw it out. Are you sure you want to keep fighting this? Giselle drops a bomb, and she says this is from a credible source. She said this is not from her attorneys. This is not from Karen's attorneys. This is from a credible source, though. I'm thinking she heard this from Karen. She heard that Karen was offered, allegedly, 6 months house arrest or 60 days in jail. So that makes me think that she's going to definitely serve more than 60 days in jail. It also makes me think that she should have taken the plea deal. We've been saying that. If she had taken the plea deal from the beginning, she could have she just wasn't ready. She's a woman. I'm not an expert. I'm not diagnosing Karen. It's clear that she's dealing with some sort of addiction, be it pills, be it alcohol. She's dealing with something. She is in such a denial state that she couldn't even do it. She couldn't even take the plea deal, where she would be home right now. She could probably be filming at the end of this month. That's what people's reporting. They're supposed to start filming at the end of this month without Karen. She could have probably still filmed. I don't know the rules for house arrest. Attorneys chime in. She probably could have still filmed. She just couldn't leave her house. They could have came and visited her at the house. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what house arrest is like. I don't know what that. I'm sure they can't just have any old body come through. So, but still, she would not be in somebody's jail. She wouldn't be somebody's prison mother. So, April says Karen ain't credible. But I believe her that Giselle says that they offered her 6 months house arrest, allegedly, or 60 days in jail. That makes me think that she's definitely going to serve more than 60 days, according to this, current prison sentence of a year. Exactly. Chanel says that sounds like a very serious addiction. Serious to the point where she fought this all the way, tooth and nail. Even at the sentencing, she took no accountability. She blamed it on mixing pills and with drinking. She refused to own that she has a drinking problem. She refuses. And that's sad. At the end of the day, I think that's really, really sad. Very, very sad. Oh, thank you. Mama Allie be spilling her own tea. Mama Allie says, when my husband was on house arrest, he was allowed to go to work and be at home. I could go to his house anytime to visit and stay as long as I liked. Yeah, they probably just have to go through a whole approval process. So she allegedly was offered this. I believe Giselle in regards to that, because that I feel like that's coming from the horse's mouth. So this is when Ashley brings up what we talked about before when we had that caller call in. Well, Ashley says, a journalist told me that Karen may have had a person in the car with her. So this is where Bravo flashes back to the footage. And we've played the footage for you in regards to Karen and what she said during her arrest. And again, she also called herself Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Is it possible that someone was there? If it is true that there was someone else there and she's taking the rap for them, I'm still looking at you, Karen, like you're ridiculous. Jamie's asked on TikTok, can she appeal? She does have the right to appeal. I don't think she should. I think she needs this time. She needs help. She needs real help. And real rehab. And even that, the judge called her out for this rehab. Like, you didn't get real help. And she tried to make it seem in the video that they end up sharing. They then show this video of Karen at home with Ray. And they're all checking off all the things, because we know what they're doing here. This is before the sentencing. They're trying to check off all the boxes in regards to the questions that people have. She says that she didn't watch the tape. Ray tries to make excuses for the accident because she's like, I blacked out. I was on the phone. I think our cousin's the one, David. She was on the phone with him. And she says that she blacked out. Mind you, they're saying that she was at some place that's like 4 minutes from her house. 4 minutes. It's not like she was driving a long distance and it gave her an opportunity for this to happen. She was literally around the corner from her house. So she's probably thinking in her head, oh, I should be able to make it home. No. See, that's all it took. 4 minutes from her house. And luckily she didn't take someone out in the same situation. So in this video, Ray brings up there was new construction where she got into the accident. He was really trying to help her. And this is why people say that he's also responsible, but she also brings up needing more and more antidepressants. She talked about she was hanging out with her girlfriend. They offered her some Stella. and she ended up drinking champagne, but she had forgot that she had upped her antidepressants. But wasn't there Stella in her car? Wasn't there liquor in her car? Okay. Then they said in the video, he's like, oh, that's where the rumors, Ray says that's where the rumors, we end up getting you a driver after the last DUI, which was like 12, 13 years ago. We ended up getting you a driver, and that's how all the Blue Eyes rumors started. And now all those rumors, did I believe it before? I did. But if anything, now I believe them even more. Like everything they've said about Karen Huger, I am set to believe. So she's saying all this stuff. You're seeing all the ladies at the reunion's reaction, and they're just like, stop this. Giselle's just like, yeah, can y'all stop this? Please edit this out. This is not going to do it. Like, I have to give Giselle credit because she knows that this does not look good for Karen. She's like, please don't even share this. This does not look good for Karen. But maybe this is what Karen needs. She needs for the world to see. So they show this. Karen at the end of the video says, when I return, I'm not going to return as the Grande Dame. I am going to return as just Karen. No, you need to return healed. You need to return in a program. You need to focus on that, not focus on returning to anything besides that. All right. So the group reacts to the video. They said they covered all the bases. Giselle says that there was no accountability. And he tries to make, he says, well, there was some account. He really tries to make excuses for Karen. You might be part of the problem too. Because here's the thing. We have to remember, this is why you shouldn't trust people that you work for or these companies and things like that. Because at the end of the day, they're thinking about their bottom line. Karen is a star on their show. Remember, she said she had a leadership position. She believes that having this leadership position put pressure on her. Why she increased her medication, why she may have been drinking, because of her leadership position on the show. We have to remember, and I've seen it with so many different housewives. They play a game, a mind game, allegedly, I'll say, with these housewives. They build you up, and the minute that they don't need you anymore, they let you go. So the main concern, and I don't care what people say, it's what they do. Their main concern should be let her focus on getting better. That should be everyone's main concern. Clearly, again, I am not a doctor, and I'm not diagnosing Karen, but Karen has a problem with something. And Karen needs to focus on that. So everyone reacts to that. Ashley says, I was on the train, and I don't believe Ashley. I believe Ashley just wanted a way to bring the story on the reunion. I don't believe that Ashley was on the train and she was talking with some guy, and she told this guy that she was on a reality show. Really? And then the guy decided to Google schmoogle it. And he was like, oh, I know this woman. I used to see. I think Ashley I call BS. At first, I fell for it. And then when I rewatched, I was like, that's kind of strange. You're on the train, and then you randomly are talking with some guy, and you tell him I'm on this reality show. And then he Googles it, and then he recognizes one of the women. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just feel as if Ashley is so disingenuous that I don't know if I believe that. Because you saw when Dr. Wendy was about to say something, she didn't want to say it. But Ashley says this, so this is when Dr. Wendy chimes in and confirms that another person told her, because Ashley had said that this guy used to work at this particular place in DC, and he would see Karen there day drinking all the time. So Wendy feels like, okay, I guess I can say what I originally wanted to say, was that at this other place, this guy says that Karen would come there all the time and get drunk. I know some people love Karen so much they refuse to believe that Karen has a problem, and they can't in their right mind say a bad thing about Karen Huger. Saying the truth, holding someone accountable is not bullying. It's not going against someone, it's really trying to get someone real help. Some of the shady things you see some of these other housewives say and do on this show, making jokes of her issues, is one thing. But I think everyone genuinely on the cast, the fandom, wants Karen to be better. But Karen has to want that for herself. And look, we've heard these stories before about Karen getting drunk. But here's the thing. Karen might have a problem with alcohol, but when Karen goes behind the wheel of a car, she makes that problem for everyone else. That is the difference. Okay. So Wendy confirms what someone had told her about that. And the group talks about whether or not Karen watched the footage or not. They can't believe that she did not watch the footage and still decided to proceed with this case. I believe Karen probably didn't watch the footage, but that doesn't mean, because the fact that you didn't watch the footage, that your lawyers didn't watch the footage, that your husband wasn't there, all the people that should be able to tell you, Karen, you don't want to bring this to court. I believe her attorneys told her, don't bring this to court. I believe Ray probably told her this. I believe that Karen was stubborn. So when they say Tauruses are stubborn, these are the moments. I have to say, I'm not that stubborn. I got to see Karen's birth chart, because so stubborn. So stubborn about this. Ridiculous. All right, so they close off this reunion. I know I've been talking a lot. Shout out to all of you that are here. We have over almost 3,400 and something. Almost 3,500 people here. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitter, Twitch, here on TikTok. We appreciate you guys as well. Also, shout out to those of you that will be watching the replay crew. Be sure to let us know. And don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes that are coming. Hold on, let me see if it's available now. Please hold. Let me just see if it's available right now, because at least I can make the announcement now. Because for those of you that keep asking, Kempire, when are you going to talk about... Oh, there we go. Damn it. When are you going to talk about the White Lotus? Well, I'm ready to talk about the White Lotus. If I can open this thing. Where is this? Why is this not working today? Why are things not working? There we go. Let me see if it's available. Let me show if it's here. Okay, I think I have to set something up. Well, I will be talking about the White Lotus, okay? But exclusively on the Kempire podcast as a bonus episode. So you'll have to subscribe to that, okay? That will be available exclusively on Apple Podcasts. So if you want to hear my thoughts on episode 1 of The White Lotus, subscribe today. All right. I will double check after the live. But if you want to hear my thoughts on The White Lotus, on other shows that I don't talk about anywhere else, like I might do episodes on Paradise. I might do episodes on The Traitors. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe today on Apple Podcasts. All right. And I need to watch episode 3. But this week I will be releasing another episode for episode 2 recap, and then of course episode 3 for the White Lotus. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe today. I'll post links on my socials and whatnot, and on the community tab for you guys to subscribe to that. Okay. All right. Moving on. So they close out this reunion. Okay. Ashley, they're saying by the time that this airs, she should be divorced. Ashley is divorced from Michael Darby Gullum. Wendy and Giselle, they talk about their new friendship. Even their reaction was sort of like, yeah, the friendship is, it's in a better place. A lot of people love to see Dr. Wendy and Giselle sort of like just handling this reunion. Okay. Then they talk about Stacey losing her best friend tonight. Even Stacey's reaction, though. Stacey's reaction to before Eddie came out, she's just like, I'm excited. Excited for what? You're about to be exposed. Dude. Like, really? They joke and say that we lost Maya Angelou tonight. And they were like, don't compare Mia to Maya Angelou. May she rest in peace. Don't do that. If you had to rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 reunion, how would you rate it? I thought it was a good reunion. Do I think it was their best reunion? No. But it was definitely a good reunion. It was entertaining. I'm okay with it being over. Next week, a new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta begins. We don't even get a little bit of a break. The new season is here, Real Housewives of Miami. Miami. See, that's what I was about to say. I'm anticipating Miami more than I am Atlanta. I'm open to Atlanta. I'm not writing off Atlanta, but I'm open to Atlanta. And it will be interesting to see how many episodes they'll talk about Kenya and how much we'll see with Kenya. I don't see us getting a lot of Kenya this season just because that incident happened 3 weeks into filming. So we'll see. But stay tuned for next week. We don't get a break. Next week, a new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta Sweet 16 begins. Back to talking about Portia Peach Juice Williams. Sometimes go about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Okay, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you liked this video if you haven't already. We're going to drop the call link for our members first. So let me just do that. All right. And shout out to all of you that are watching on multiple platforms. We appreciate you guys being here. Let me drop this on here. All right, so I'm going to drop this on the post tab here on YouTube for our members. I'll be dropping it for you guys first. Okay. All right. And happy March. Happy Women in History Month. Happy Black History Month. You know, can't say it enough. It's the shortest month of the year, so we'll give them the first couple of days. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So I dropped the call-in link for our members. Live chat. Once we get through the members, I will drop the call-in link maybe for you guys. We'll see how I feel. Okay. Just because it's a long live already. We've been talking for over an hour. Roosevelt, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Keith, thank you so much for another super chat. Keith says, shout out to Karen for being an Oscar nominee. Really? Really, Keith? Your agent Keela, thank you so much for the super chat. Stacy Lai is better. Dean's mom's bunions. What? Ew. Yomira, thank you so much for the super chat. Yomira says, so I went downstairs to see the new TikTok angle and it looks good. I love it. Thank you, Yomira. Okay. Thank you, Yomira. We appreciate that. And mind you, I had to set this up really quickly because I had the idea the other day and I was like, I need to set it up a little bit better. Illy says, Kempire, off topic, but did you see Marlo and Sonya's review with Carlos? No, I did not. Of course, I'm not going to watch that. Keith, thank you so much for the super chat. Keith says, something tells me Karen's lawyer wears an oversized suit and costs less than an Uber ride to the airport. I love my home, so I would take house arrest. That's what they were saying during the reunion. That they love their home. I would take house arrest. I don't want to be arrested regardless. However, if I had that as an option, I'm taking that as my option. House arrest all day, every day. Y'all already know I don't want to leave the house. I get invited to all kinds of things. I'm like, oh, I tell my manager, do I have to go? And 9 times out of 10, he's like, no, you don't have to go. Well, I'm not going. So if I come out to an event, please understand, I must really like you. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Tish says, Wendy gave the insight viewers needed to get the full picture. I agree. All the things that she chimed in on, meaning in regards to the case and what's been going on with Karen's case, a lot of that stuff would not have been brought up without Dr. Wendy. I'm so glad that she brought up those points. And I have to say, Giselle was really riding for Karen. She was really definitely riding for her during this reunion, telling her side. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Imagine Karen becomes the granny in charge in jail. I can see that. Look, Karen is a nice person. I can see her becoming the prison mother. Okay. Doreen says the video was scripted like her soap opera cameo. In regards to Karen's video with Ray. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says, now see, Karen could have picked house arrest and still made time to sneak into conjugal visits with Blue Eyes. Bloop. Why are y'all this way? Ew. That might be one of their rules. He can't come to the house. Okay. Marquis, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support as always. Shout out to our members. You know, we do these at least once a month. I'm going to do some more stuff, especially because March is long. Some more stuff exclusively for members. It's not a part of your membership. I'm always adding little surprise things for members, but we appreciate your monthly support. Some of you have been members for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Some are going on 4 years. So we appreciate your monthly support. I don't take that lightly because y'all are working hard for your dollars like I'm working hard for mine. So I appreciate you sharing some of that with me. Okay. But if you can't be a member, I understand that too. You can also support just by liking the video. You can also support by going to our podcast and giving us a 5-star review. You can also support by telling a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. You can also support by buying some of the merch at houseofkempire.com. Always you can support. Okay, let's get to our callers. Let me put up my disclaimer. And don't forget, guys, that we will be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern for our recap of Married to Medicine. I got to rewatch it again. I rewatched, and God, bear with me. Can I just skip over Dr. G and that song that he set me free? That's actually sound better than what he gave us. Okay. Let's get to some of our callers, okay? Members, we appreciate you being here. I'm going to go to our members first. We've got Toya backstage. Again, first of all, members, no profanity, no derogatory comments. Let's not talk about people's bodies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everything that the callers say is alleged. Nothing is rooted in truth, like Stacey, okay? Also, the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, TheKempire LLC, or our sponsors. Okay? All right. Let's bring Toya up first. Toya, what did you want to share about this reunion?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just want to say Wendy had a good season because after last season, she needed it. I thought she killed the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Karen, if she doesn't take accountability, it's never going to work. Like,
Yeah.
how can eh, you can't fix a problem if you don't identify the problem
Mm.
first. And she just continues to lie. We all have been on medication, and the doctor tells you that you need to take medication before you eat or after you eat or in the morning. Don't eat while driving. They give you instructions. They give you instructions when
The
they
pharmacy,
hand it to
too.
you at the pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
The instructions are on the bottle. So stop acting like at your big age you didn't know you shouldn't have mixed certain medications, girl. That wasn't it. You're lying. Stacey, I liked Stacey. I thought she was a great addition, but not anymore. This lying, this fake persona that she does, like, I don't like it. It's just so fake. It's
Yeah.
so fake. Like, I get you want to be prim and proper, but just don't be fake. And this is exactly how it started with Mia. We excused Mia's lies, and the
Mm-hmm.
lies just kept coming. It kept getting worse. Stacey, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling this girl anymore.
Damn. All right, Toya. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, Fire. Have a
Bye.
good one.
You too. Tyler's backstage. We're going to bring Tyler up next. Let me stop the clock. Hold on. Tyler, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire.
Hey.
So I'm mad at Karen because I truly feel like it's not about the DUI. I feel
Mm.
like if she wouldn't have had this scandal, we probably could have gotten rid of Ashley. I think this would have been Ashley's last season because Ashley is a liar. But what I will say is this reunion has made the like a real relationship now can form between Wendy and Giselle. I can see it
Mm.
now. But
Mm.
at first, no, it was forced through the season. But this reunion, they start to say, okay, well, we think alike on a lot of things. I could see it now. I
Mhm.
think they should keep all the current girls and maybe bring in Candace. I know you all don't like regular Robin, but I think, hear me out, Kempire, as a friend, because Robin doesn't want to share her full story, but I do
Mm.
would like to see her coming around as a friend. I think she'd be decent in that, in that arena. And they can just keep it from there. Karen, you really ruined yourself because we could see the show without you. I mean, you're good, but I mean, they can continue without you. I don't think that it would be as horrible as Atlanta has been with as Atlanta has been without Nene. And
Mm.
last thing, Mia, you left and nobody cared. Andy had to remind them that you were gone. That's sad. Nobody cared. Was Gordon in Mania when you left? Nobody cared. And Stacey, girl, bye. Cut that queen her check. But
Mm.
that's all. Bye.
Bye, Tyler. It's a mess. Winter's backstage. We're gonna Winter up next. Winter, what did you want to share about the Potomac reunion?
Hi, hi, how you doing? So you can hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. So all I had to say was Stacey was just so weird. It's just like, why are you lying? Like her standing firm on like, oh, just I need to see the footage. Like, girl, they're literally telling you like it happened. Like, just admit to it. Like, she really turned me off. Like, I was just like, I'm good off for next season. Like, I really, if she comes back with this, like, I don't want to see her again. And
Mm,
then I was just like, Eddie, like, oh my God, he is to die for. Like, I'm like, she is so lucky to have him. He's such a great guy. Like, and he has a nice smile. Um, Mia leaving, we didn't care. Like, oh my God, the fake tears, not one tear came down. Like, girl, bye. I don't see her coming back next season, nor do I care. And then Karen is just like, I kind of had a feeling that they were gonna resume production without her because
mm,
she's kind of out out aging the show. Like, there's no storyline. You really don't have nothing going on.
mm,
And with this whole situation, why would they stop production for you? Like, what else does she have going on anymore? She's kind of hitting like, those senior years, and we're just she doesn't fit in with the group no more. That's all I had
mm.
to say.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Winter. All right, Delon's backstage. We're gonna bring Delon up next. Delon, what did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. How are
Oh,
you?
well, how are you?
I'm doing well. Once again, clankety clank to Karen. She's in that jail cell as she should be. Um, I'm glad that they're continuing with the show without her because you lied this entire season.
Mm,
So go sit down where you need to be. Wendy carried the reunion, in my opinion.
mm,
She's just that girl that the girls want to be, and she's now the only married housewife on the show. Clock that T.
ooh,
And Ashley and Giselle kind of got on my nerves trying to clock Stacy about the TJ thing because y'all have like fishy relationships as well. You were paying Pastor Jamal. I don't care what no one says, she paid that man. And Ashley, your husband was pinching men's booties. Like, come on now. And Stacy, I don't really care if she stays or goes. Everyone is really a liar on this franchise, so I don't know what
she
everyone
fits
is
right
so
in.
mad about. But yeah, and Mia, stay gone because you ruined this franchise.
Oh,
And that's all I have to say. You have a good day.
you too, Delon. I don't want to. I don't know if I want to give Mia the power to say that she ruined the franchise because I haven't forgot about the colorism conversation. That wasn't just Mia. So let's not forget, and I like that people are reminding us that we've had people on Potomac that have lied about relationships that we assumed they just have never really been caught. But no, technically in season 5, Monique basically dropped the receipts on Giselle's head. All right. Brandy's backstage. We're gonna bring Brandy up next. Brandy, what did you want to share about Potomac?
Hey, Kempire, how are
Hey, I'm
you?
well. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to say that I do believe that Karen probably didn't watch the video
Mm,
because I know for one, I don't like watching myself or hearing myself on anything. But for two, I think that she the truth hurts, and she's so delusional. She probably was like, I don't want to subject myself to seeing how much of a fool of myself I made
mm,
when I know I'm gonna just get out of it anyway.
mm.
Because she's probably thinking that if she got out of 3 DUIs before when
Yep.
she was just Karen Huger, now that she's the grand dame on Bravo with Andy Cohen, everything she was saying in the cop car, then of course she's gonna get off this time.
Mm.
So I believe she probably didn't watch the video.
I
And
believe that.
Stacy, she was, huh?
I believe that.
Oh yeah. And Stacy, she was tripling and quadrupling down so much that I really didn't know what to believe either. Like, but the only thing is like her body language kind of gives it away, and the fact that she didn't want to get on the phone with TJ, I was like, okay, you lying. But yeah, I didn't know.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Bye. pay attention to that body language. I know you probably don't want to have to go back and rewatch the episode, but pay attention to her facial expressions. She's very good at trying not to show her emotions, which is, I say that's dangerous. A person like that is dangerous. But I could read through the cracks because I am a body language expert. I will also say this. I posted this on Twitter earlier today, right, Twitter? I said, as I've gotten older, I have definitely tapped into a more intuitive side. Like I end up really, I need to go with my first thought about a situation. Like when I talked about Garcelle yesterday. Anyways, I need to go with my first thought because I'm usually pretty right about people. And I know what you're thinking. Kempire, you weren't right about Stacey. But I pointed out some of the things that I was like, that seems weird. This guy seems weird. Look, and I know what I probably like about Stacey. She's an Aries woman. I love me an Aries woman. But does Aries have an interesting relationship with the truth? Oh, let's bring up Hayad. Hayad, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
How are you?
Ooh, I am good. And I want to just say Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims out there.
Yes.
Whew, this is going to be hard for me to do a read without being mean because, God is watching. But, did you notice, Kempire, that Ashley said something about how it'd be understandable if Stacey did this?
Yes.
If she was paid. And I thought that was interesting coming from Ashley's mouth. And I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm a good Muslim. And then I just wanted to say that I think for TJ, I don't think it was a good idea for him to say he's being paid by Stacey because if I'm a casting director and I'm watching him and I'm saying this is the best acting he can do, I'm not casting you. I'm not casting you. All right, and one last thing about Zoe Saldana. I'm happy she did win that Oscar just because I know that she is talented. However, I will never forget what she did to Nina Simone, and she needs to apologize. That's it. And
Damn, you're supposed to be a good Muslim today.
I'm good, but I can't lie.
I know.
Can't lie.
Yo, you're right. Goodbye. Yes, happy Ramadan to those that celebrate. Elijah's backstage. Gonna bring Elijah up next. I can't. Elijah, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Pretty good.
I just want to say this. I want to first say, TJ, I understand Stacey was wrong for paying him, but TJ is no good either because as a man, you really gonna let yourself be brought onto this show, look like a fool, okay? All because you were paid and now you want to expose her. I'm sorry, he looks worse than her in my opinion. Because he's the one that stooped down to this low because his checks weren't clearing, no one was calling him. And so because of that, he came on this little TV show and tried to make a scene and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? With them fake tears. But anyway, I stand up for Stacey the same way I stood up for Bronwyn because I feel like a lot of first season housewives, you guys I feel like people haze them worse than Giselle. Okay, because my thing is like they lie as the same way that the OGs lie. I'm never gonna forget Giselle's act is never gonna make me forget all her behavior ever. Okay, she brought this pastor onto the show. Okay, he's also low down and dirty for doing that too. But she brought him onto the show. She's just a liar in general. Ashley, she looks dumb trying to call out Stacey. Babes. No, babes, how about you check what's going on in your life? Because anyway, yeah, that's that. I think that people are too harsh on Stacey and I want to see her back.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Elijah. Okay. I'm on the fence on whether or not I want to see Stacey back. I am on the fence. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm on the fence. Miss Sharon is back. Is backstage. I'm gonna bring Miss Sharon up next. Oh, hold on. There goes Miss Sharon. Hey, Miss Sharon, what's going on?
Hey, Kempire, how you doing?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Have you been catching Beyond the Gates?
No, not yet.
You need to watch it. It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, it is. I'm watching it right now.
Okay, you watching your stories?
Yeah, I'm watching. That's the only story I watch.
Okay.
Hey,
go ahead.
What's her name? Wendy had said the same thing that Karen was. Karen was at this particular restaurant or bar every day. And don't you remember Sharice said something about that as well? Yeah. I was like, oh man, so this is all being confirmed. Karen getting locked up and now all this dirt is coming out on her. Now I'm thinking there is a blue eye. But then Ray tried to clean it up and say that it was really the driver. And you know, when Karen was laying on that bed, I really thought that she was gonna confess to Ray and say, Ray, I have to tell you something. There was another person in the car. But she didn't. I just knew that's what she was gonna
Why
say.
would you think that? She didn't even say that in court.
I know. Well, I just thought maybe she would say it to Ray. Oh, and then another thing, Stacey doubled down on her live on Watch What Happens Live.
Mhm.
She said that man, she called that man, what's his name?
TJ.
Yeah, she called him and he was so sorry.
Yeah, she said he
Bye-bye.
was remorseful.
Yes,
I can't with Stacey. He was not remorseful.
he sure wasn't. Well, gotta go, Kempire.
Thank you. Get back to your stories.
All right.
Just gotta get back to our stories. All right, we have Cabello. Cabello, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm a first-time caller, new member. I'm calling from South Africa.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say I've been part of the replay crew forever, but let's get to the episode quickly.
Okay.
Don't really care for Stacey either way. She can come back. She can stay wherever she wants to with TJ. I really don't care. But I just want to say I had such a light season enjoying Giselle and Wendy doing their thing. I think for me, it was more of I'm kind of a Giselle truther, you know, don't get mad at me. I'm a bit of a Giselle truther. So I go by feeling and I'm just like, okay, no, this was a light season for me. I enjoyed it so much. I was just like, oh my God, finally I can root for two people on, you know, they're finally on the same side. It's lighter and all that. But yeah, I just wanted to say I enjoy this very much. I'm forgetting everything else I wanted to say.
It's okay.
Yeah. But this was a fun season for me. Karen and Ray, actually, they can just keep their rehearsed storyline, you know, wherever. They didn't need the cameras in their house, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.
I can't wait to get to South Africa. I will get there soon. Stay tuned. Okay. All right. Keith Talks is backstage. We're going to bring Keith up next. Keith, what did you want to share about this episode?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So, first of all, I'm going to need Mrs. Karen Huger and Mr. Ray Huger to step to the front of the congregation, please. Okay, so now that y'all are at the front of the congregation, don't y'all feel stupid, silly, embarrassed, humiliated? Because I would. The fact that y'all called the producers and wasted their time and their gas money to come to your home to film this, no, baby, no, it's not what you thought it was going to do. Okay, not at all. Now, that's to the side. I want to talk about Stacey. Now, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Now, granted, I do think she's a liar. I do think she's lying about this, but I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt for the fact that I feel like it's a low-hanging fruit for TJ to say that she missed a few payments because we were saying that she was paying the boy for the past few months anyways. That's easy to come up with. So I'm gonna say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but in the back of my mind, I still don't believe it at all. And also, I do want to say that the whole Wendy and Giselle friendship, I don't believe. However, I am a Virgo. My best friend is a Gemini. So it can definitely work because you know how Geminis can be, well, how air signs can be in general. They're all over the place. You never know how to keep them still. So, you know, here comes the earth sign being able to step up and be able to really set them straight and really handle them. So I think it can definitely work out. And also one last thing, I do want to say butter. I love it. I use it on my skin as well. Great. I may have to cancel my subscription and create a new username and email address so I can use your 10%. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, all right. Thank you so much and
Thanks,
have a good day.
Thanks, Keith. You too. Bye. I'm loving Butter's skincare as well. You know, they gave me the grace of trying out the products before we partnered together, so I've been loving it. Why did Keith think he says I need Ray and Karen to come to the front of the congregation? Why did he give them 2 seconds to get to the front of the congregation? You know they can't move that fast. I was like, give them a moment, okay? But he has a time limit, okay? All right, mods. How many likes should we get before I drop the calling for the live chat? We have few members still backstage though. Tyrese, thank you so much for the super chat. Tyrese says, "Did y'all notice Karen on Beyond the Gates?" Yes, and it was funny. It was definitely funny seeing her on there and her facial reactions. Zoe, thank you for another super chat. Zoe says, "Mia, Bryn, and Stacey are the same people to me." That's dangerous. Hot Coma Assassin, thank you for the super chat. I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here. I could definitely be open to regular Robin coming back just as a friend of, because she doesn't have to share her life then. Okay. Dr. Sarah, thank you so much for the super chat. Dr. Sarah says, "I don't believe Ashley either. The legal seafood in Montgomery Mall closed 10 years ago. So this random dude on the train remembers Karen from then. BS. See, Dr. Sarah, this is why we needed your context. Oh, I'm not saying it's impossible, but that adds more to the story. Sharon, thank you so much for the super chat. Sharon says, "If Stacey hadn't screamed 'You are a liar' a bunch of times at Mia, I'd have a bit more patience for her. Dishonesty. Hypocrite. She's on strike too." That too. The way she was trying to call out, "You are a liar" to Mia the entire reunion, and she's been caught in multiple lies. Okay, 1,500 likes. Okay, once we get to 1,500 likes, I will drop the call-in link for the live chat. But if we don't get there, that's fine. I will be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. PST for our Married to Medicine recap. Again, guys, don't forget to check out the description for our sponsors today and for everything Kempire will be available in the description. All right. And shout out to those of you watching on TikTok, those of you watching on Twitch, Twitter, and of course on Facebook. We appreciate it as well. We've got Maisha backstage. We're going to bring Maisha up next. Maisha, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Yesterday was my birthday, so I'm glad to still be alive and kicking and all of that other good stuff.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I just wanted to say the season was definitely much more enjoyable than last season. I think last season needs to be wiped off the face of the earth. And the reunion was pretty good. I don't think nothing will top season 5. Absolutely not. But regarding Stacey, she did the same thing that Karen did. She did a whole lot of deflecting, trying to blame any and everybody. And listen, if somebody lying on me and I got their phone number, oh yeah, I'm about to. Please believe I'm calling you because what's up? Why you lying? Yep. So for me, that was just the dead giveaway right there. Like, I'm calling you. I don't care if we had a bad breakup. I don't care if we ain't talked in 20 years. What you say about me? Okay. Don't play with me. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed the reunion. I love Dr. Wendy. I've always loved her from season 5. So I hope she continues to just they wearing her out on what is it, Reddit, but they always want to wear her out on Reddit. But Reddit, really? Excuse me. But it was a good season, and I gotta get out of here. I'm delivering these people mail.
I hear it. I was like, wait, what's she doing? Okay.
Oh yeah, you already know I gotta get the coin. I gotta stay. I gotta stay with the coin.
Shout out to our postal workers. We appreciate you, Maisha. Take care. Bye.
You too.
I was wondering, I was like, what am I hearing? Is she packaging stuff? But no, she's delivering the mail. Shout out to our postal workers, okay? Ms. Brown Sugar says, "Friend, what is happening in the background? Sometimes work bees like that." No, she's delivering our mail. Okay, shout out to the postal workers. Okay, let me get to some more callers. Sue from Atlanta's backstage. You're gonna bring Sue up next. What's going on, Sue?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Well, how are you?
Good. This is my first time calling. I'm excited, but I also know I only have 1 minute. So
yeah,
about Stacey and TJ, I was really, really hoping that she was smart enough to at least, 1, have a lie ready to back up the lie she's been telling us all season, and 2, that she would spin it in a way that actually made sense. So the thing is, there is a history of housewives paying for their husbands to show up on the show with them. And I distinctly remember Atlanta housewives talking about this, how the wives basically give their husbands a little kickback because Barbara ain't paying the husbands, they paying the wives.
Yeah.
So Stacey had presented it like this, like she was just throwing TJ a little bone to show appreciation for showing up on TV, but not paying him to be her actual boyfriend. I would have been like, okay, girl, I guess. But for her to just sit there the whole time with the shocked Pikachu face, acting like you don't believe anybody, she's so hurt, she gonna call her attorney. Child, I was like, kindly follow Mia out the room and out the show. It was just so stupid. Like the whole thing was so stupid and unnecessary for her plot line. And while she has a fun personality, I just don't see how she recovered from this. But all in all, I think she is still better than regular Robin. Okay, bye.
Thank you so much, Sue. Okay, Lee's backstage. We're gonna bring Lee up next. Lee, what's going on? What did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm doing good. So I wasn't even gonna call in, but I just remembered that I cannot stand when the cast makes me agree with Giselle. Like, I agreed with her, I think, twice this season. I don't like that for myself at all. But when Giselle said that they should have kept the Karen and Ray segment, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
we did not need to see that. That was so produced. Um, I I really couldn't believe it that they would even air something like that. Like, come on now, girl, just go to rehab.
Mm.
Like you said, you was. We don't need the whole spiel. Just do what you know need to do to get better.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, the whole Stacey thing was, we didn't. She the the rumor was just confirmed. We already all thought that. We already thought that TJ was on the show for clout, or we at least thought that they were, very good friends, and she, needed some type of like come up. So this wasn't really tea. This was like, maybe it was lemonade, It
A little lemonade.
was a little lemonade. Like, it was very refreshing to get the truth. But yeah, that was pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you, Lee, for calling in.
All right, talk
All
later.
right. Tish is backstage, or Tish is backstage. We'll bring her up next. Hold on. Tish, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Oh, well, how are you?
I'm good. So I've been thinking, and I think my new greeting is going to be Wagwan, since we're both Jamaican.
Oh,
So
okay.
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Okay. So this is the thing about lying. When you tell the truth, people aren't going to believe you, right? It's literally the boy who cried wolf. So Stacey could possibly be telling the truth, but we caught her in so many lies that I'm not going to believe her. Literally, the whole thing with Vivian, when Wendy said, "Oh, she said F that B," Stacey was like, "No, I didn't, ma'am." And then she admitted that she said it. So why did you lie? Like, why not just own it? Oh, and people are on Twitter dragging Wendy for exposing for exposing Stacey. And that made me realize that Bravo fans have an issue with accountability. Because how are you mad at the person exposing the liar, but not the person who lied?
Right?
And then everybody's talking about Karen. Everybody's exposing Karen. So why can't they expose Stacey too? Like, so you want bias? Like, help me understand. Like, is it supposed to be fair or not?
Wow. I didn't see that. Twitter is, shout out to, hey, Twitter. Twitter's watching. Twitter can be ghetto. I can't.
Very ghetto. But thank you. And I kept it in time today. Surprise
Yes.
myself.
Thank you so much, Tish. Take care.
Bye.
All right, Miss Bur. I never know what's going on Twitter. That's the internet. Hey, Twitter. All right, Miss Bernice is backstage. We're going to bring Miss Bernice up next. Miss Bernice, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Potomac Season 9 Reunion Part 3?
What up, though, everybody?
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Yes.
Let me get my words right for this. First, the spirit of Jezebel walked off that stage, and I was so happy. Ooh,
You didn't miss me?
because the whole Cassidy of the whole situation is that and this is what irks me the most. Well, I always admit when I do something wrong, but what you do is wrong all the time. That's the problem. And you think everybody's supposed to, oh well, she's keeping it real, but she's doing chaos and confusion every step that she takes because she's saying she's doing chaos and confusion. They're supposed to be great with that. No. And Giselle was right on that mother thing. You exposed your kids when you didn't have to. And that was for a storyline. You put your kids in harm's way because of a storyline. That is not good. We just had a story here where a mother with two kids froze to death in a car because they couldn't get shelter. Okay? So when it comes to kids, I know you don't put them in harm's way. And Stacey, my boo, just admit that you get bamboozled by little wannabe Shamar Moore, who could act his way out of a paper bag. Okay? Because if you called yourself to be an actor and everybody can see that you can't act, that says a lot about you. And it's unfortunate that Stacey thought that she was supposed to have a storyline coming in and just living her life for her purpose. She didn't need JT.
No.
JT needed her.
Yeah. We call him JT. Goodbye.
JT, TJ, whatever, elemental P. I don't. He said not rememberable. Okay, woo.
All right, Miss Bernice. Have a good day.
Okay, kiddo.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Does Detroit people just ride with people no matter if they're wrong? Is there a level of loyalty? Let me ask Miss Bernice back. Let me bring
Okay.
Miss Bernice, do you guys just ride with your Detroit people no matter what?
I'm gonna ride with you, but I'm gonna tell you when you right or wrong.
Okay.
Like I said,
Okay.
she had to. She created a storyline to be on the show instead of living in her purpose. Her purpose is already written. She didn't need him. She didn't need those. I'm going through divorce now, and I'm trying to raise my daughter and having a good divorce, so she won't be affected by this. That was her storyline.
Okay.
She didn't need him.
Okay. All right, Miss Bernice. Thank you.
Okay, love you. Bye-bye.
I'm just making sure that Detroit gonna ride with me, even when I'm wrong. I'm kidding. Okay, Coco Esquire's backstage. We're gonna bring them up next. Coco, what's going on? Coco, you're muted.
Hey, Kempire. This is my first time on the show. I am a new member.
Thank you for being a member.
Thank you. I just wanted to say I really enjoyed watching the reunion these past three episodes. Everyone was laughing. There was reasonable shade. It didn't get too nasty, even though Mia got super dramatic and left off the stage. But it just really felt refreshing to see a group of Black women just smiling. Even Giselle, whom I almost never agree with, she just glowed. She definitely took over the Karen energy. Wendy was also giving first seat energy. And I've not been a fan of Wendy since the beginning, but she definitely has showed up as the most level-headed person.
Without a doubt.
And I'm happy that she and Giselle mended fences. Kay needs to take a grammar course before she ever gets back on TV again. The way this woman mixes verbs and nouns and mispronounces words is just quite frankly embarrassing for her. I mean, I feel so bad for her. And Jassy tries too hard. But all in all, even with all of that being said, this is the perfect group. We don't need Karen back. We do not miss regular Robin. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Coco. Bye. Apparently she didn't like the Europe cities either. Okay, let's bring up Marquis next. We're gonna ignore it because I had the same thought, but I'm gonna move on. Marquis.
Kempire, hey friend.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm gonna talk to you about Stacey and ooh. Listen, why was she chanting "Bring Eddie out"? I was like, "Girl, sit down."
Right, it was weird. She was like, "I'm excited." Excited about
Why
what?
was she chanting too? I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Every time that she was like, I need to see the tape. No, I don't believe that. I need to see it. Then they show it and then she's still deflecting. I'm like, sis, I will say that this reunion was really good. It made me laugh and everyone was clocked in. So shout out to Potomac. And did you notice when Mia got up and walked out, not one person chased after her? Not even Jacqueline. Her friend just sat right in that seat and warmed that seat. She said, I'm not getting up. I'm with child. I am not getting up.
And I have a segment to film.
Exactly. That's all I wanted to say about Stacey and
Thank you so much, Marquis, for calling in.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Let's get to these last couple of callers. Wait, before we get to some more callers, let me say thank you. We had a few super chats. Tracy, thank you so much for being a member and for the super chat. Tracy says, okay. Tracy says, you could tell Andy was over Stacey on Watch What Happens Live. He's seen enough to know when a housewife is telling tales. Yeah, you could definitely tell. He was really trying to get to the truth. He was giving her an opportunity to tell the truth or clear her name. Even her friend AJ was chiming in. A little too much AJ. During that. Cabello, thank you so much for the super chat. Cabello says, TJ is probably part of the replay crew. That's why he's so mad. He thought he'd be a hit and was a miss. You're right. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Millie, thank you for another super chat. Millie says, Ray was so flipping happy to finally send Karen to jail. He showed up and acted his butt off so that he can take himself to the golf course in Florida in peace. Millie. I do believe that Ray probably feels some sort of relief, because I do feel as if he's been sort of coddling and enabling this behavior for a long time. I mean, it stems back to 2006. Star thing. A lot of people were saying, because we don't know for a fact, because I think a lot of people are saying that they didn't see Raven at the sentencing. I don't know if Karen really thought that she wasn't going to get any jail time, but she wasn't there. I don't know if her son was there either. I know her cousin was there and a few other people, but a lot of people were saying that they didn't see the kids. Star, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate the support. Star says, low-key think that TJ didn't really mean he was bought. He was playing on the rumor so as to hurt Stacey and the ladies look good. Okay. I mean, I could see that. I'm not going to take that away from you. But we've caught Stacey in a few lies. Just saying. But this is what he claims. And of course, that's what people have been saying. But that doesn't necessarily make him look good either. You're being a paid actor, and this is the way you came across. You can even play like you liked her. That probably hurts your career more than it hurts her. Bravo and NBC Universal and Andy are used to lying housewives. Hollywood's not used to lying actors that are bad actors. We're being very generous by calling him an actor. Extra? Okay. All right. Ariana's backstage. We're going to bring Ariana up next. Ariana, what did you want to share about the Real Housewives of Potomac?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Yeah, so I was at your live show, and Stacey's demeanor at the live show makes no sense now in comparison to what happened on the reunion, which
I'm going to drop the video soon.
Yes, and add some commentary with it, because that was a lot. And I actually talked to her, took a photo with her. She was so nice. I'm disappointed that she didn't come with a better story. She really must have not known this was going to come out.
Yeah.
But I expected someone as calculated as her to have a much better story. Ooh, sorry for my dog.
That's okay.
But yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. I did think that the reunion was really fun.
The dog is agreeing.
Sorry for this dog. I thought the reunion was a lot of fun, and I do want to see the same cast back with Candace. I think Candace definitely needs to come back and shift the way the show was going before the reunion. I think we need more luxury. I kind of want to see Jazzy's wedding. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that's where we go for the next season.
All right, Ariana, thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks. Bye.
I'm open to Candace coming back, especially because I really wanted to see Candace's pregnancy and all of that. But here's the problem with Candace coming back. There has not been any resolution between Candace and Giselle. So if that can happen, this could be a really great season 10 of Real Housewives of Potomac. But a real conversation, not what they try to give us this season with Wendy and Giselle. We need a real conversation between them. I mean, I want to see, because I think having a child, being a parent, going through the pregnancy that she went through, changes a person in a lot of different ways. And a lot of people said they miss Candace's wit this season. They missed a lot of the luxury that she would bring to the show, the different parties and wedding that she threw. So we'll see. I know she has a new project that she wants to shop, so I could see Candace being smart and say all right, I'll come back. All right. Kimberly's backstage, and bring Kimberly up next. Kimberly, what did you want to share?
Hey Kim. I guess I just want to say I said what I said last time I was on phone. Can you hear me? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing, but all I really wanted to say was that I appreciate. I mean, yeah, Stacey a liar, but who in that cast is not a liar? I'm just saying they're all lying, and that's why for me I watch it for the fun, and it should be fun. And this season was a little more light and frothy, so I'll take that. But on just a really small, sensitive, just a serious note, I'm really besides all that mess we saw with what's her name? Huger, inmate Huger.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate that she kept saying antidepressants. Let me just tell you, there's not enough antidepressants in the world that's going to respond that way. She's still just hiding from alcoholism. Now, if she was saying barbiturates of some sort, some kind of value, yeah, that ups it. But she's even lying on her redemption tape. And they mentioned the beer bottles in the car. And the reason I hate that so much because it gives people another excuse to like stigmatize people who take clinical medication who need them. And if she actually needs them and she should take them how they were prescribed.
Yeah.
That's all. Have a great day.
Thank you, Kimberly. Take care. Kimberly called in during our Karen sentencing video and gave a really great perspective as someone that's in that field of addiction and alcoholism. So for those that may have missed it, we learned a lot. I know we cover these stories and we're giving you information, but we also have a lot of well-educated and people that have been through things that have called in and shared their experiences. So if you missed that video, it was a really great perspective that she shared, a perspective on alcoholism that I didn't even realize how bad it could get for someone that's dealing with that. All right, Sharon's backstage. We're gonna bring Sharon up next, and then I gotta go, y'all. I have Sharon, and I have Millie, and I have Bleed. Those would be our last callers. Sharon, what did you want to share about Potomac's reunion?
Hey, Kempire.
How are you?
I'm mending. Thank you.
Aw.
Stacey making us Aries ladies look back. And I'm not from Detroit, but I was born in Flint, so it's a little too close for my comfort. I need her to stop, okay? I mean, think of all the lies she just told during the reunion. She might have potentially lied about starting a weed business. I don't know if y'all caught that, but for 2 seconds, she started to lie and say that she didn't say FTB about Vivian. She said, I did not say that. And then she said, well, okay, yeah, I did say that. And then now the TJ lie. And she doesn't even lie well for how often she lies. Like if it were me, I would have said, oh, he's just being, a jerk because I broke up with him and now he's mad he doesn't get TV time. That she could have easily said that.
Yep.
And I would have believed that because
Yep.
TJ is a little,
Thirsty?
sassy about, being.
Not sassy.
Yeah, well, he's been mean. Yes, yeah. And then finally, like, she didn't start, if she didn't start out lying, like, yes, all the housewives have lied, but like
Yeah.
Mia, she has like started off on the wrong foot. So she is on her very last strike with me. I want her to come back, but fix it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon. All those points. Aries woman. All right. Millie's backstage. I'm going to bring Millie up next. Millie, what did you want to share about Potomac and the reunion?
Hi, Kempire. First time calling in, so hopefully you can hear me.
I can.
Millie Scorpio from Nairobi, Kenya, and I'm really excited to finally call in.
Thank
Just a
you.
few points. Call me delusional, call me wild, but I believe Stacey. I'm falling for it. She got me hook, line, and sinker. I'm falling for the lies. Maybe because they're so delusional and so wild that why would someone make that level of a lie up? So I'm in for it. She
Okay.
kind of reminds me of Sonia from New York where it would make these really delusional, wild lies live in some crazy fantasy world. And then as the seasons go on, the layers start falling and you get to see the real person on the inside. So I want Stacey in, lies and all. No strikes for me. She is in for the next few seasons. So we can really see her kind of shed the different layers of herself. Second point on Karen and Ray Huger. I think Karen is finally going to see the reality and her delusions will be faced to her with a mirror up in her face while she's in jail. The fact that the show is going on without her is going to be the one thing that sets her back into reality and makes her really review herself because that's become her entire identity.
Yep.
And now that that's been taken away and she sees that the show is going on without her, I think it will really kind of put life back into perspective. But that's my thoughts. And thanks for a great live again, Kempire.
Thank you, Millie. Have a great day. I wonder if Karen thought that they would wait for her. Because, that's been the speculation. Will Bravo wait for Karen before they start filming? I wonder if in her mind, because remember, she's delusional in a lot of ways. So I wonder if she thought that they would wait for her. And like Millie said, the fact that they aren't, word on the street is that production is going to start at the end of this month. Can I say one thing about Eric Fuller? I know it's unrelated, but it's kind of related because remember, he was the producer of Potomac in Atlanta, and we're about to start recapping Atlanta next week. He's no longer the producer of any. He went to RHOP and ruined that. Go back to the scene where Candace and Monique got into that fight. Pay attention to his face during that. Go back to RHOP when Uba is screaming at Bryn. Pay attention to his reaction. His reaction is quite telling and at the same time disturbing. I know, random, but related. All right. Last but definitely not least, we're going to bring up Blee. Blee, what did you want to share in regards to the Potomac reunion?
Hi, Kempire. This is my first time calling.
Shout out to all the first-time callers today.
I'm really nervous,
It's
but
okay.
also, I'm an Aries as well, and Stacey got us looking horrible. I'm so offended. And for TJ to call her whack, that was so cringing. Um,
Yep.
Also, I just want to say Eddie looked amazing. I love that suit on him.
Right.
It was so nice, and that beard and that hair was so shiny. I'm like, oh my God. But that's all I had to say.
Oh,
Stacey
okay,
got us dressed
Blee.
up.
Thank you, Blee, for calling in. Take
Thank
care.
you. You too.
Bye. I love that. 15 seconds. I just want to call and say how fine Dr. Wendy Acefo's husband was looking. He was looking. I mean, he's been looking good, and I've seen Eddie up close and personal. Not personal, but I've seen him up close at BravoCon, like literally, like a few feet away, and I'm like, good looking man. Dr. Wendy Acefo as well. So, anyways, for me, they were the bone collectors of the reunion. I feel like they brought it during the reunion. I did not realize Twitter, stop acting up, leave Dr. Wendy alone. Y'all act up for no reason, probably because it's a safe space for all you colorists and racists and whatever. Because at the end of the day, Dr. Wendy did what she was supposed to do. I'm glad she had a light, fun season. For me, she was the voice of reason. She was holding people accountable this entire season. She was the MVP this season for me. I still think that Stacey was the Palo Santo that this season needed based off the last couple of seasons of Potomac. We just got that Palo Santo from Temu. Yeah, we ordered it back in season 7. It just came in season 9. Okay. TJ, if you got receipts, DM me. Come on, look, if you got the receipts to prove what you got to prove, DM me. She don't follow me no more. It's okay. Well, who else? Mia, no one even cared that you left. Ashley, we wish you went with her. Kiarna, I hope you get engaged in one of those Europe cities. Mm-hmm. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Giselle, I will watch the behavior going forward. If you continue to be the energy that you were this season, maybe we can move forward. Maybe. Okay? Jazzy, ain't nobody coming to that wedding. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, I want to give Jazzy a second chance. I'm playing. Okay? Who else? Who else is on this cast? I think Karen, we'll talk to you when you get out. Okay. Guys, we're almost at 1,500 likes. Don't forget to like the video. It's easy and it's free. I do want to say thank you, Tish. Thank you so much for the super chat. She says, to those saying friends don't expose friends, wasn't Stacey Karen's friend when she exposed what Karen said about Wendy? Stop moving the goalposts. I can't believe people are really mad at Dr. Wendy. Are you guys really? Well, not us. We are normal. Y'all mad at Dr. Wendy? Stop. Please stop with that. Y'all are just mad for no... How about be mad at the person for lying to you this entire season? We thought she was a Palo Santo and she was from Temu. Maisha, thank you so much for the super chat. Maisha, oh, let me shimmy for this super chat. I did a little workout yesterday, so I'm a little sore. Maisha says, Giselle was asked at her live show, would she be open to Candace or Monique returning? Giselle said yes about Monique, but regarding Candace, she will not film with her, and she does not deal with children regarding Candace. Really? She's willing to move on with Monique, who she talked about Monique being violent on the show, but she's not willing to move on with Candace? Okay. Giselle just never makes sense. HB, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the 2 super chats. We appreciate your support. Guys, don't forget you can also support the channel just by liking the video, by sharing the video, by subscribing, by telling a friend to tell a friend. You can also support by checking out Factor Meals or getting you a little something from our friends over at Buttah. More information on both companies will be available in the description, along with everything else Kempire. Thank you to our channel members. It was a members only live chat. Shout out to our Team Kempire members, our Royal Court members, our senior royals. We appreciate you guys as well. A lot of really great perks coming up for you guys as well, so stay tuned for that. Also, want to thank our King's Guards for holding us down on multiple platforms here on TikTok, also on YouTube, and of course on Facebook. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to those of you watching on Twitch and Twitter as well. All right, y'all. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. PST for our Married to Medicine recap. And I warn you already, I'm going to be twerking on a fence. Twerking on a fence. Set me free. Sorry. You get it if you watch Married to Medicine. I will see you guys then. Thank you all for being here. Everyone have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all later. You all have asked, Kempire, drop the skincare routine. Well, now I am. I am so excited about our new partnership with Buttah. I've been following the company for many, many years, and I know a lot of you are probably already familiar with their products. So I've been able to try their products for the last few weeks, and I have to say, I am utterly impressed. I'm not going to go through my nightly routine or my other routines because I have a morning routine, a nightly routine, I have a weekly routine, I have a monthly routine in regards to my skincare. So there is a whole system, but you have to start somewhere. So why not start now? First of all, let me talk about my morning routine. So I gotta wash my face. You have to find the right cleanser, all right? And not all cleansers are made the same. Start with a cleanser, gives me a good lather. Once I'm doing that, another key component to your skincare, don't use the towel that you use to dry your hands or to dry your body on your face. They have these high quality, silky soft towels. You use it once and you throw it out. I love that. It's going to change your skincare routine. Once you're done with that, put on vitamin C. This is a game changer. For those that say, Kempire, your skin is glowing. Game changer, vitamin C. I will also say this, because I've tried so many different skincare products, I can tell quality versus not so quality. Quality so far from everything I've tried. There's also a very key component. And then after you've done your vitamin C, it's time to put on your moisturizer. Cocoa Shea Revitalizing Cream. I love this because I've tried some other companies and I'm not going to name them. Some are too thin or too thick or too scenty. This is perfect. And I do not say that lightly, and I'm not saying that because it's a partnership. I would tell you the truth. If you know me, you know that. Perfect consistency. When I've used this literally today, this woman that I met, she's like, oh my God, you have perfect skin. I can't tell you the amount of times that people tell me that, but here's the final and key component, sunscreen. Very important, and I love the fact that they sent me the perfect system. Sunscreen, tinted mineral sunscreen, SPF 30. SPF 90 you don't need. I don't know why they sell it, but it is what it is. So we've partnered with Buttah, and I hope that you will get you a little something. For those that have been asking, what is your skincare routine? I just gave you my morning routine. Stay tuned for the nightly routine and other things. More information on our partnership is available at buttahskin.com/Kempire. All that information will be available in the description. Thanks, Buttah.
Here we go now. Here we go.